Skin-reinforcing nanocoats. Imagine a world where your skin could shrug off cuts, burns, or even radiation, where the human body gains armor without losing its softness. Skin-reinforcing nanocoats represent a future fusion of biotechnology, nanomaterials, and human adaptation, a technology that could change how we perceive safety, health, and even identity itself. At its core, a nanocoat is a thin, invisible layer of nanoscopic structures, often carbon-based, graphene-derived, or ceramic hybrid, engineered to bond with human skin at the molecular level. Unlike traditional lotions or protective gear, these coats don't just sit on the surface. They merge with it, forming a dynamic, semi-permanent shield that enhances resilience, self-healing, and environmental resistance. To appreciate what this means, we must start with the biology of the skin itself. The skin is already a sophisticated barrier, 3 layers of protection, hydration, and sensory function. But it's also fragile. Sunlight damages it, aging weakens it, and even minor abrasions invite infection. Scientists realized that if we could reinforce the epidermis at the nanoscale, we could preserve its biological function while granting it new physical properties: strength, flexibility, and self-repair. The earliest precursors of nanocoats emerged in the early 2030s from developments in graphene oxide biofilms and smart hydrogels. These materials could adhere tightly to living tissue and provide controlled permeability. Then came bioadaptive nanoparticles, designed to read skin chemistry in real time and respond by tightening, hydrating, or thickening their structure as needed. Imagine a cream that hardens under impact but remains silky soft in daily use. This was the conceptual birth of the nanocoat. When applied, the coating's nanoparticles organize themselves using electrostatic patterning, forming lattice-like networks that mimic the geometry of collagen fibers. These networks distribute force evenly across the skin, making bruises almost impossible. A punch, a scrape, or a fall, the skin disperses the energy instead of tearing. It's not invincibility, but it's evolution through engineering. The implications are profound. Medical uses became the first major application. For burn victims, nanocoats could replace damaged skin temporarily, protecting the wound while stimulating regrowth. For patients with genetic skin fragility disorders, nanocoats acted as a molecular exoskeleton. Surgeons began experimenting with nanocoats that reduced post-operation infection risks by releasing antimicrobial ions only when pathogens were detected. Next came industrial and military adaptation. Soldiers equipped with skin-reinforcing nanocoats could tolerate higher heat, radiation, and chemical exposure. Firefighters could move through extreme environments without bulky suits. In hazardous manufacturing zones, workers wearing these invisible protective films were safeguarded from microabrasions, toxins, and even UV radiation. The second generation of nanocoats introduced programmable nanofilms, coatings that could shift properties on command. Using embedded nanoreceivers, users could alter the coating's texture or resistance by sending a signal from a smartwatch or neural implant. In one setting, it becomes breathable and supple for comfort. In another, it hardens into a microshield that can deflect sharp objects or absorb kinetic shocks. These coatings also revolutionized cosmetic and aesthetic industries. They could smooth wrinkles, maintain ideal hydration, or even project subtle color changes. Tattoos could be embedded in nanocoats and reconfigured digitally. The boundary between fashion, biology, and technology blurred entirely. Beauty became programmable. But with such power comes ethical complexity. Who controls what's on your skin when it's more software than tissue? In early deployments, corporations attempted subscription-based nanocoats, monthly renewals that required proprietary recharges or updates. Hackers soon found ways to alter coatings, introducing pigments, resistance profiles, or even illegal substances that changed under ultraviolet light. Your skin could become both a canvas and a battlefield. From a biological standpoint, one of the greatest breakthroughs was the development of bioresonant nanocoats, formulations that harmonized with cellular rhythms. These coats didn't just sit atop the epidermis, they communicated with it, enhancing cellular regeneration and collagen production. Over time, these coats reduced scarring and accelerated wound healing by up to 80%. They were more than protection, they were augmentation. The science behind this relies on nanomechanical metamaterials. These are engineered lattices that derive strength from structure rather than bulk. At the scale of nanometers, they can be designed to deform elastically and revert perfectly to their original shape. Embedded sensors in these lattices can detect tears or microstress, triggering the release of repair nanites that migrate to the affected area and rebind the coating. In effect, the coat heals itself, and by extension, helps heal the skin beneath it. Another revolutionary concept came from bio-photonic nanocoats. These versions used light-sensitive nanoparticles to convert UV radiation into harmless infrared heat or even usable energy. That energy could power micro-devices embedded within the coat, temperature regulators, medical monitors, or haptic sensors that transmit touch data wirelessly. Skin became an energy interface, a living display and energy source in one. Imagine a mountaineer coated in a nanofilm that detects frostbite before it happens, a diver whose coat prevents nitrogen bubbles from forming in blood, or astronauts shielded from cosmic radiation by their own epidermal armor. The frontier of human endurance is redefined not by machines we wear, but by layers we become. However, merging machine logic with living flesh raises biocompatibility and ethical concerns. Nanocoats must avoid triggering immune responses. Early prototypes caused rashes, cell necrosis, and systemic inflammation. Researchers solved this by designing biomimetic coatings, using lipid and protein analogs that the body recognizes as self. These coats became, quite literally, part of you. Then came the philosophical questions. When your skin is no longer purely biological, what does it mean to be human? If pain can be filtered out by a nanocoat, do we lose something essential? Empathy, caution, the tactile sense of life itself? Artists and philosophers began exploring nanoaesthetics, painting with programmable coatings to question where body ends and technology begins. Economically, the technology reshaped industries. Insurance companies began offering discounts for workers using protective nanocoats. Sports teams debated whether reinforced skin violated fair play ethics. Meanwhile, luxury brands created designer nanocoats that shimmered with adjustable iridescence, selling bio-couture for the ultra-rich. In parallel, researchers explored medical nanocoats for disease prevention. Coatings that neutralized viral particles before they reached cells could stop infections at the surface. Imagine an immune system you wear. Hospitals could eliminate contamination risks by issuing adaptive nanocoats to surgeons. During pandemics, population-wide distribution of antiviral coatings could slow transmission dramatically, a wearable immune upgrade. But the dream of universal protection comes with its shadows. Nanocoats could be used for surveillance, detecting hormones or stress signals to infer emotion or intent. Governments might require coatings that track exposure levels for safety, while actually monitoring behavior. In the wrong hands, skin becomes a data source. To counter this, developers began designing open-source nanocoats, formulations whose chemistry and software are transparent. Citizens could verify their safety and control their updates. Communities of biohackers emerged, customizing their own defensive or aesthetic coatings, much like modding digital software today. From a scientific viewpoint, nanocoats bridge materials science and synthetic biology. They draw from the fields of carbon nanotubes, self-assembling peptides, and microfluidic delivery systems. Future iterations might even integrate quantum dots, nanostructures capable of optical computing, turning the skin into a processing surface. Imagine biological computing woven into your epidermis, analyzing environmental data or communicating directly with wearable AI. On the frontier of space exploration, nanocoats could play a crucial role. Human skin wasn't built for cosmic radiation, vacuum, or micrometeorite dust. But nanocoats infused with boron nitride or carbon-ceramic hybrids could allow astronauts to endure hostile environments with minimal gear. Colonists on Mars might one day walk outside with only a nanocoat, an oxygen source, their skin resisting the planet's ultraviolet storms. Beyond defense and health, nanocoats also redefine human sensation. By integrating nanohaptic arrays, these coatings can amplify or dampen sensory input. You could feel the texture of air, the vibration of music, or silence your sense of pain. For people with sensory processing disorders, such control could restore balance. For thrill seekers, it could expand perception to superhuman ranges. As this technology matures, society must balance empowerment with responsibility. Should children have access to nanocoats? Should soldiers? Should criminals? If you can make skin bullet-resistant, what happens to the concept of harm, punishment, or vulnerability? Ultimately, skin-reinforcing nanocoats represent more than just protection. They symbolize human adaptability. Throughout history, we've built armor, suits, and barriers. This is the first time the barrier becomes us. It's the convergence of evolution and engineering, flesh and fabrication. Decades from now, humanity may look back on bare skin as a primitive trait. Nanocoats may become as commonplace as clothing, an invisible interface between body and world. And perhaps, in a poetic twist, our skin, once fragile, will become our greatest strength. Intelligent, beautiful, self-healing, and endlessly adaptable. The age of skin-reinforcing nanocoats is not just about surviving the environment. It's about mastering it. A world where every touch, every texture, every breeze carries not just sensation, but data. Where our bodies no longer yield to injury or time, but evolve continuously, layer by intelligent layer. And in that transformation, humanity may finally achieve what nature alone could never give us: invulnerability, elegance, and endless renewal. Hey, if you're enjoying this video and want to see more like it, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update.